Hello and welcome to this late morning taste challenge. I have 240% alcohol dark rums from the Caribbean islands, the West Indies. This is Winn-Dixie distilled rum imported from the Caribbean islands, bottled in Kentucky by Wide World Importers for Winn-Dixie stores established in 1955. Now remember this being at Winn-Dixie when I was a little kid, 7, 8 years old. It was in glass bottles. I didn't pay any mind to it because it was common, like Wrigley's gum, so you didn't pay any attention to it. I know it's been around. Now I don't know if it goes back to 1955. Wide World Importers. That's really it's Buffalo Trace where it's bottled at Buffalo Trace, but they're not going to put their name on this. Okay. Winn-Dixie was bought by Aldi earlier this year, so I don't know what their future holds. If there will be a Winn-Dixie in the future, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. All right, here is does matter in a way because Aldi has no hot deli, they have no bakery, they have no florist shop. Winn-Dixie's a more or less full service. They don't have the pharmacy anymore, but Aldi's going to change. Maybe they're going to have more full service. All right. Anyway, here is Bacardi Grand Reserva Diez, aged 10 years. It's a blend of rums. What it means is it's a blend of different rums from Puerto Rico that are the youngest rum in the blend is 10 years. And that's a real wax seal. It's not like painted on there. It's real. This runs about you might get it $39.99 on a discount, but probably it'd be $40 to $50. But it's conceivable you could find it for $39.99, which is almost $40. I found it for $17.50 at Walmart on a closeout. It was a $70 package, the 10-year, the 8-year in a case, a cedar wood case with a glass display front with brass snaps, and they had it for $35. It was a $70 case and they sold it for $35. I went by Walmart today to see if they had any closeouts being the day after Christmas, but they did not. They probably wait until New Year's. So I paid full price for the Borden eggnog, which was still not expensive when you consider eggnog. And I did a mix-up video with that, which I'll post eventually down the road. Rubber neoprene stopper, rubber neoprene from DuPont. Wooden cap, real wood. Bottled in Florida by Bacardi Limited. So it's sent to the United States and it's bottled in Jacksonville, Florida. All right. No problem. Now, when it goes to England, they probably have a bottling plant in England that either they own or they rent, pay somebody to do it for them. Sazerac, Wide World Importers, Buffalo Trace owns the Buffalo Trace distillery. You won't see them doing this on the tour. This will be probably done after hours on the tourist leave, because they do take you to the bottling facility, I think, on the tour, and it was a great tour. The best part of the tour was going to the Blanton's little bottling area within the distillery on the grounds. It's kind of like a little barn, and they were hand bottling it, Blanton's, hand labeling it. Really great. Jean-Pierre says, hello, Jay, here at work the day after Christmas. Enjoyed the Pilsner get together. Oh, thank you. I didn't respond to your comment yet, but I did see that you commented. Thank you. So you can see the very big difference in appearance. Yeah, I know David had to go back to work today also. I got the day off, but I didn't work yesterday, but I lost the money for that day. Didn't get paid. No pay. No work, no pay. See if it'll focus. Yeah, there it goes. You can see the one here that I'm shaking is so pale. Just the slightest touch of straw or gold. This one is deep brown, copper brown, amber. Burley Sullivan says, you, cheers back to you. Somebody was trying to steal your material last night, and I called them out on that. All right, anyway, James Ball says, good morning from London. Good morning to you in London. Cheers, peace. Let me check something real fast. I was at Walmart today, and I bought that eggnog, but I saw they had Buffalo Trace sitting on the ground, on the floor. It had a whole case, a 12-pack sitting on the ground in the liquor section, being ignored, really. And I asked a girl, I said, how much this, what's the price on this? We don't work in this area. She says, we don't work in this area. You got to go to customer service or something, or a register. I was like, not doing all that. I'll just look it up on their website when I get home. $23.98. Yeah, they have a lot of it at Walmart right now. $23.98. Pick it up today. Yeah. So that see how fast I looked that up. My friend David found it at a local store across the river for $19.99. Well, not local to me. It would take me close to an hour to drive to that store. $19.99 for Buffalo Trace in Louisiana right now. The most amazing deal in the world. Okay. Here's the Winn-Dixie website. Doesn't tell you anything about the rum except that it's got a product code. In case you need to know that. They're running this sale till January 7th, $12.99 for this huge plastic bottle. And then you can match, where you can mix and match this with other products and get a discount. But, you know, we're not going to do all that. All right, only at Winn-Dixie store. Here's Bacardi Grand was introduced. They don't tell you anywhere on the website, so it's all guesswork. Not that long ago, I don't believe. Blended, barrel aged for a minimum of 10 years under the Caribbean sun through charcoal for a smooth finish. Expertly blended rum, unique elegant experience, gluten-free, gold rum, barrel aged, 10 years, filtered through charcoal, uncompromising quality, smooth taste, stone fruit pear with caramelized vanilla and oak. I don't know about all that, but that's what they're saying. They're really pushing. Discover bright notes of stone fruits, banana, and pear balanced with caramel oak. I should have stayed on the, let me, Dixie carries it. Sure they do. Rum. Of course, they got Bacardi, $15.99, normal price. Appleton Estate, $23.99. It's a little bit high. Myers, $23.99. That's to me, that's a little high. Florida Cognac, $18.99. Y'all you may not believe this, but I found that Reserva number 4 that I haven't reviewed yet for $10.99 somewhere. I couldn't believe it. Bacardi Gold, $15.99. Black, $99 makes sense. A little bit, yeah, usually it's a little bit more. Where is the Grand Reserva? They got the Añejo, $21.99. That's a discount. Now that's a deal because I think Walmart's more than that. Well, okay, all right. They don't sell Grand Reserve. More Scott. And then we're going to give up. Normal prices here. Spice rum, that's a new one. Black oak, it used to be called oak something oak. Can't remember. Reserva Ocho, $29.48. It's actually cheaper than I thought. The 8-year. No, they're not showing the 10-year. Well, okay. Well, if the 8 years 29, like I say, well, maybe the 10 years not. Maybe it is $39.99. I mean, find it somewhere. Now that's assuming you can track it down. And I'm not saying that. Bacardi's a good value because you don't pay a fortune and it has a really great flavor to me. I don't get money from Bacardi. And the way we know that's true is because if I did get money from Bacardi, I would probably make a Bacardi video every day. I would find some excuse and have a Bacardi video every day. Then that's telling you I'm not getting paid. A little cheaper at Total Wine. Be nice if you lived close to them, but I'm not anywhere close to them. It make no sense to me to go over unless I just happen to be driving through and I stopped off. Okay, $36.99. Okay, cheaper than I thought. Nice, $36.99. Now that's your deal, and they got some available right now. $27.99 for the 8-year. Okay, well, good to know. Good to know. They don't make the 151 proof anymore. Have to tell you that. I'm trying to see if they have any really expensive Bacardis. Nah, nope, not at here locally. Just $36.99. That's the highest price. They don't have their super specialty Thai rums. Oh well, doesn't matter because I probably wouldn't buy it anyway. I try to get something cheaper. James says I'm sitting enjoying a bottle of Hobgoblin Rude Ale. It's 4:12. Ruby Ale, you mean? 4:12 p.m. Doggy Boy says yes. Okay. Anyway, all right. Gonna mix them up here. As you can see, Bacardi is very common. Winn-Dixie, obviously common if you live next to a Winn-Dixie or close to it like I do. Winn-Dixie's been in this town 10 years before I was born. All right, so Winn-Dixie's been in this town over 65 years. How long will it remain? We don't know. Since the Aldi buyout, everything's in an uproar. I cannot control that. I went to Walmart today, like I told you, and I asked the girl, I said, when y'all fry chicken, I saw her putting the chicken up on that little kiosk. I said, when you fry the chicken, do you bread it yourself and put it in the oil, or does it come pre-breaded? She said, we don't put it in the oil. I said, what? She said, it's delivered pre-breaded and we put it in the oven. I said, really? I said, well, it tastes good. She said, thank you. I mean, it does taste good. So, okay, it's pre-packaged, like a banquet meal. All right. Kind of tastes like banquet fried chicken. Oh, I just figured out who makes Walmart's fried chicken. Cheers to you, ConAgra. That's not a joke. Actually, I'm serious about that. All right. Consolidated Agriculture, ConAgra, who also bought Orville Redenbacher's popcorn company. Orville Redenbacher died about 20 years ago. He was like 100. His family didn't want to run it. Yeah, it smells really rich and luxurious and wonderful. This smells like no aroma. Is there an off aroma? No, there's no aroma. So this is the Bacardi. This is the Winn-Dixie based on aroma only because there's no way on earth that this could be Winn-Dixie. All right, got it right. So some of these takes no work. So Winn-Dixie is the Las Vegas Raiders and Bacardi is the Kansas City Chiefs. And there ain't no way. All right. Cheers to the taste for what that's worth. Well, you see, the taste challenges give me a chance to revisit the products because it might be once a year I do it and I get to taste the fabulous, wonderful, awesome Bacardi Grand Reserva Diez. Oh, the body's light to medium. It's not a heavy body rum at all. It's dark. The charcoal filtering, the secret blend of charcoals really helps it out. That's an elaborate process. The the succulent, I would call it succulent sugarcane varieties, probably a variety of sugarcane. Oh yeah. Oh, I gotta type this in. I gotta do some research in a minute. Uses of bagasse. I read something in the paper what they were going to use it for. Uses of bagasse. That's the leftover stalks of the sugarcane. Now, artificial intelligence, which is not reliable, will tell you that Bud Light is a Pilsner. Ha 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 ha. Such a joke. Food packaging and tableware, construction materials, biofuel, furfural, a clear liquid used to synthesize chemical products like nylon, solvents, and medicines, paper products, factory fuel. Yeah. And there's some articles from last year. What is bagasse and how is it used? And what Louisiana's bagasse piles are bigger than ever. Could new uses be found? All right, so yeah, sugarcane is no joke. It's really got a lot of bio-friendly, ecologically friendly uses. You make the sugar juice, sweetener, table sugar, sucrose, molasses, and the fibers, once they squeeze the juice out, are burned to heat the sugarcane. So they're using the byproduct to heat the main product. They burn it, and they're using it they pulverize it, make siding for houses, and like they said, all these other things. So I'm going to read about bagasse. I saw it, in the last 2 weeks, I bet you I saw 4 trucks full of bagasse. It's like a big basket on the back of the 18-wheeler full of it. They just dump it in there, and it's biodegradable, of course. And they take it to whatever factory bid on it, and they're going to use it. So cheers to sugarcane and its multiple uses. I get a little grass on the flavor, a little grass on this Bacardi. Sugarcane is a type of grass. It's a type of cane like bamboo. And they even make fishing poles out of the sugarcane stalks. There's a way of curing them and putting varnish on them and lacquer to make them smooth and shiny. And they make cane poles. People can buy them at Walmart, sells them most likely, and you can go fishing with them. Freshwater fishing. So it's amazing the use of sugarcane, the versatile sugarcane product. I think you make furniture with them. The Winn-Dixie is very dry. This one has sweetness, like sugar, molasses sweetness, like a molasses cookie even. This one is just very dry. There's hardly any sweetness to it, which would appeal to many people. I understand. Many people would say, I prefer dry rum over this sugar bomb thing. I'm not saying this is a sugar bomb, but it's certainly sugary. Bill, the Bill Hound Show, PG-13. Hello, Bill, in California. How do, Ronald? I'm fine, doing great. Enjoying this. Well, the weather stink, but I'm waiting for the sun to break through those clouds. It may never do it. Can you imagine that? It's almost 10:30 and it's still foggy, and it looks like one of those elf movies or one of those Hobbit films, but with no mountains. All right. Mildly sweet. There is sweetness. I'm not going to deny that, but it's so minimal. I mean, this one is characterized by dry. This one characterized sweet. This one, I would score it a B-. It's marginally good. I'm not going to say it's just ho-hum average, but it's just getting into good. Is it worth the $12.99 until January 7th? It's definitely worth that price. And it's probably worth the regular price, $13.99. I would not bring it to a graduation party. I would not give it as a wedding gift. If I bought it, I would not go bragging about buying it. On the other hand, it has serviceable qualities. Let's call it serviceable, marginally good, which is why it's popular at Winn-Dixie all the time. And it sells and there's a lot of turnover. So if you get a bottle, it's almost assuredly going to be a fresh bottle. I've never seen one covered with dust. Never. This one has a lot more developed character. They don't even sell it in Winn-Dixie. They don't sell it at Walmart anymore. They have it at Total Wine and More for less than $40, and that's a shock to me. I think Mathern sells it, but they might have it around $40. You know, the independent stores can't compete with the big box that's going to intentionally lower prices to the point where they're trying to drive out the smaller guys. Well, at least that's the theory. All right. No, I mean, but anyway, it's definitely worth the $35 to $40 a bottle. And like I said, I thought it was more than $40. So that's a nice thing to know. You can get this less than $40 if you can find it. Is it the best rum I have? Definitely one of the best. I think the best is that 8-year, though. I think the 8-year, it's strange, isn't it? Like you would think the 8-year would be inferior, and it's a lower price by about $10. But I don't know. For some reason, it's got a little bit more bounce to it, a little more punch to it. But this one's wonderful. So the Appleton Estate, great. The 8-year Reserva Ocho is fabulous. The 10-year age Diez is wonderful. Those are my top three. I mean, I can't think of anything else. I mean, I used to have Myers's, but that's gone. The Bacardi Black was super duper. All the rest of the ones I have are nice. They're either very, they're either nice like Bacardi or Bacardi Superior, just like nice or like less than nice. But I don't have any bad ones. There's not a rum in this house that's bad. Nope, not a single one. Now, I had one that was bad. It was called Caliber Spice Rum. That was a tragedy. That was a tragic kingdom. Gwen Stefani wouldn't even, what I mean? So that thing was terrible. I drank it all down because the way I got rid of it, well, I couldn't stand to drink it on its own. And it said, distilled with grain spirits. I was like, this is not even a true rum. It's a distilled spirit specialty concoction trash item. It was like rum with grain alcohol. It was terrible. Horrible. And they still sell that. But if you get the big bottle, it doesn't say that. If you get the little 750, well, really the standard bottle, it says contains distilled grain. Why? Why? But if you get the big bottle, it just says spice rum. So it's actually two different products with the same name in two different bottles. But I got burned so bad. on the regular one with the regular bottle. I never could force myself to buy the big bottle. And the big bottle's cheap. It's like $10.96, $12.96 is the most. That thing is, oh, wow. It's gone, though. The way I got rid of it, like I said, I poured it in a cup of coffee, like this much, with some milk on top, and then I poured the black coffee on top. And that's how I got rid of it. And I could stomach it. It kind of hurt the coffee. It actually made the coffee worse, but I could choke it down, Jean-Pierre says, love Bacardi and Don Q. Oh, glad you mentioned Don Q, Jean, because I got a bottle of Don Q Gold, a big handle, huge, big like this Winn-Dixie, but glass, not plastic. And they had a sale at Dorgnac's 4 years ago. I'm not kidding. During the scamdemic. $13.99 per bottle. And I bought the silver and I was like, oh man, maybe I'll wait on the gold. And then I was at home and I was like, you're stupid because they're not going to keep that price and you're not going to get it for that price ever in your life. And if you go back to Dorgnac's Food Center, you'd be lucky if they have it for $13.99. So a few days later, I went back to Dorgnac's and they had a couple of bottles left for $13.99 for the handle glass, embossed glass. And of course, just like I told myself, it never had that price again. That price went whoop, way up, and I got it. And that's a great, like Jean-Pierre saying, that's a great product. Now, still want to get the Barbancourt 4-year, 4-star. They got the 4-star and the 6-star or 8-star. I don't know. I can't remember. There's like a 4-year age and an 8-year age Barbancourt. I know where to find that. I can get Barbancourt at your buy store Barbancourt, right? I can get the Barbancourt at Discount Depot. It's not that expensive. I'm gonna try to make an effort to buy it. I will. So stay tuned. 2050, it's on. In 2050, it's on. Because if you go look at my rum collection, you'll realize why it's going to take that. All right. So was it a challenge? Not really. Was there any chance I would get it wrong? No, none. No chance. On the other hand, even though Winn-Dixie has been getting decimated, obliterated, isolated, conglomerated, masticated, and instigated since this started, once I got past the Buffalo Trace brands, the real cheapos that they make, it still has been holding its own. It hasn't been totally embarrassed. Like every game that it loses, which is basically every game, it does score at least a touchdown and maybe a field goal. Oh, they even got a safety one time. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to lose. They know they're going to lose. I know it. You know it. The American people know it. But once again, but ultimately they do perform some respectability. They even stopped the opponent on a drive once in the game. All the other times they scored. But anyway, so yeah, it's that's the analogy. It's like a football game. Every time the competitor gets about 600 yards, 550 to 600 yards of total offense, and Winn-Dixie gets about 150 to 200, 210 one time. Yeah, so they can't really compete, but they're they're fighting, they're battling. Not giving up. Got eliminated from the playoffs a month ago, But honestly, for $12.99 for this handle, it's not a bad value. Just don't expect much. Expect a very light, sugary, light molasses flavor with a little bit of oak, not charred oak, just oak, and a light body and a dry finish. And then you got it. And this one is really rich. Oh, yes. All kidding aside. But as a comic, in all seriousness, though, I think that the next one is still going to be a blowout, but closer. Because I got Castillo Gold coming up. Castillo Gold from Puerto Rico. And it got bought by Bacardi sometime in the past. And that'll be a little bit closer. And Castillo is a great value. Y'all can shop around, and you might find that Castillo is a fabulous value. Now, some people on the internet will claim that Castillo is better than Bacardi, even though it's cheaper. Like some people claim Busch is better than Budweiser. I'm not convinced of that at all. I don't see that. I don't believe it. I think that's a fantasy. But Castillo is good. No, it's good. You got the gold, the silver, the spiced, and the 151 proof, which I'm not going to deal with. Too strong. So stay tuned for more exciting taste challenges. And then it's on to tequila. Uh-oh.